6 o'clock. Let's call the meeting to order. Adoption of the agenda.
Mayor, I would like to add, number 12 needs to be changed from recess to adjourn, please.
All right, we got that. Recess to adjourn. All right. Adoption of the agenda.
So moved.
Second. Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Want me to play the legal, please? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Carroll cannot be with us tonight. Commissioner Carroll is better, but his daughter fell and broke her hip. He's with his daughter. So, keep her in your prayers. You will do the okay. Yes, sir.
If you would pray with me. Our Father, tonight we come to you with the town of Lake Waccamaw folks here. Appreciate everyone that's here and appreciate what you do for us. Beautiful town you give us to live in. Be with all of our medical and emergency people, keeping them all safe. Give us the understanding of what you need us to do tonight. Be with us. In Jesus' name,
Amen. All right. Approval of the minutes from April 8th board meeting and April 8th closed session.
So moved. Second.
Motion second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. Who's here for public comment? Go to the podium and state your name and tell us your birthday and all that. No, I'm just kidding.
My name is Maddie Eason. I have moved here recently. I moved into the house where the Indians used to live over in some place. My questions are, number one, who is in charge of the road signs?
This isn't a question.
Go ahead and I'll speak when you get done. When you get done
Okay,
speaking,
well, that's one of my
I'll
questions, and also, the streets that I live on is, like potholes, and what can be done about that? If, it is the town or the county, I'm not sure. That's why I'm addressing all of this, and I don't know.
It is the town's responsibility. Joey Fullis reached out to me this afternoon about the same issue. Dan Smith, I think, had some concern. Joey reached out, so stand by. We'll be on next week.
Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. All right, anybody else for public comment? Yes, ma'am.
I'm Ginger Littrell, and I'm not telling you how old I am. But I just wanted to thank the town for embracing the idea of a family 4th of July parade. We'll have our first one this year from the park around the town hall. Golf carts and bicycles, just to start out small. And then we'll do Pledge of Allegiance and sing the Star Spangled Banner, and Hills will provide the participants with lollipops. So you can't do better than that. But pass the word, and guys, show those grandkids and your kids how to do those baseball cards on the stoves.
What time of the day will this be?
We'll line up to start away from the park about 10. It won't take long, and then just end up there, and then everybody can disperse. So the road's pretty wide, so maybe we just have to block just one side of Flemington, just to keep it not a traffic problem. And if you're in town, we'd like for you to lead the parade. Okay?
I should be here.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank you for your help on the Gator Fest. We'll say more about that at the end of our meeting, but do appreciate all your help on that. All right, any more public comments? Once, going twice. All right, we will move forward. Mr. Alan Thompson is with us tonight, so we'll go over our audit presentation.
You should have two folders in front of you. I'm going to jump from the small one, the presentation summary. If you'd be kind enough to flip to page one of that. read through a few things and get to the numbers pretty quickly. So on page 1 of that, there's 3 phrases in each of those paragraphs: appropriate accounting policies, accounting estimates, and financial disclosures. We were good with all 3 of those. And then on page 2, no difficulties encountered in performing the audit, no uncorrected misstatements, no disagreements with management. Management did provide us with a representation letter dated April 8. When aware that management consulted the outside accountants, auditors, etc. under other matters. As for the town the size of Lake Waccamaw, you're always going to have a segregation of duties issue. That's just the nature of the beast. You got in similar vein, a lot of the towns similar to this size don't adjust account balances until the end of the year. That's what the number 2 one is. Next year, the audit submission date is December 31st, moved from that October date. So that's and then the sanitation fund has a deficit fund balance of $10,959. Got to do something to clean that up. There was an overspent budget item on fire and rescue of $33,000. And you got to get a pre-audit certificate on there as well. Those are kind of the items that need to be taken a look at. Then on page 3, I don't say these are all the key numbers in the audit report, but I try to pull out some of the numbers in the audit report. I'm sorry, page 4, I apologize. Somebody gave me that funny look like, buddy, you on the wrong page. So what I'm attempting to do here is pull out some of the key numbers, and so it's just not a number in space. I put the 4 prior year audit report numbers beside it so you get a feel for where things are headed. $1,608,000 in total fund balance, unavailable fund balance at $248,000, restricted at $245,000. The general fund expenditures $1,982,000, fund balance available as a percentage at 68.61%. Then unassigned fund balance at $829,242. Unassigned fund balance as a percentage at 41.84%. Both your percentages might be down a little bit, but they're still strong. And then the general fund over and under expenses before transfers was a minus $128,000. And water, sewer, sanitation was $193,993. Depreciation always plays a role in that as well. Cash in the general fund, I'm not going to read the fixed asset numbers there, but we might end up coming back on the accumulated depreciation in one of those in just a second. Cash from general fund is $1,395,000. The water sewer fund is $2,344,000. Let me say this to you. The water sewer, you can see where it's minus $190,000, but the cash actually only dropped about $12,000. So that's where depreciation is playing a role in that. Fund balance again $1,608,000. Fund balance water sewer and sanitation is $8,858,000. See your property tax rates there, and then collection percentage at 98.59%. The next 2 lines are your total property valuation and your total levy amount. Without reading all the departments, you see the total breakdown by department of your general fund revenues, $1,853,000, and a breakdown of your general fund expenditures at $1,982,000. You can see on page 5, a bar chart and a graph. On the bottom, the analysis of fund balance. And then on the bottom, you see fund balance available as a percentage along with your group weighted average. And then on page 6, the analysis of unassigned fund balance as a percentage. And then the revenues over and under expenses before transfers, both in the general fund and water sewer fund. On page 7, you see a pie chart with your cash balances and fund balances with their dollar amounts right underneath that. Cash at $3.7 million and fund balances at $10.4 million. You see your property tax rates on the top of page 8 compared to the group weighted average below that. And then the collection percentages compared to both the statewide average and group weighted average there as well. On page 9, you see the percentage breakdown of your general fund revenues. sales tax, ad valorem taxes, other taxes being the big ones, and then public safety on the bottom being your largest expenditure at 77.97%. Page 10 is what you have to respond to, which is all the things I read out previously. The only thing is in one that I didn't specifically say is that second bullet item. And that's where I think it's the sanitation fund, where you can have a business type fund that has greater than 50% of the fixed assets as an accumulated depreciation. I think of that as not really a big issue, especially when it's at 47%. It's just the nature of the beast. If you had a business and 53% showed up as accumulated depreciation, nobody would be worried about that. So it's an arbitrary number the LGC came up with, and just respond back and say we think we're in good shape. Having said that, I'm happy to answer any questions you got of me now or any other time.
Questions, comments? Terry?
The restricted balance, can you tell me what that is? What that is?
In the fund balance? Yes, sir.
What's the restricted part?
On page 12 of your larger report,
Okay.
if you go to the second item, your restricted cash, $245,202. If you go down to the bottom, under fund balances, you'll see restricted. You'll see $159,119, which is PAL bill. And then public safety at $86,083, make up that $245. Your next grouping, if you will, is at $248,000. And if you go back to the top, I apologize for this going back and forth. You see under receivables accounts, and it's $167,298, $50,772, and $30,568. Those make up the $240,638. So that's what is in the restricted. Those, the 248, 159, and the 86,000 make up your restricted fund balance.
And those are restricted. The logic of a restricted is that they can't be used for just anything or what. That's the struggle I'm having with what.
Like the PAL bill restrictions.
I understand the PAL bill. I get that.
And the other one where it's got, they're saying the receivable amounts can't be spent, but it's only a temporary restriction until you turn them into cash.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a more of a liquidity than it is a restriction, if you will.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir, certainly.
Questions? Yes. Anybody else got any questions, comments? David, Meredith, y'all got anything?
Thank you, Mr. Thompson.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. And at the end of the day, Meredith, looks like you're doing a pretty good job at your job. Thank you. All right. Place here. Okay. I was in the office earlier this week, and that lady was in there with the town manager, and we were talking about pickleball courts. She said she'd like to have a few minutes, and I said, well, how about we put you on the agenda? I said, Valerie, you have the floor.
So I'm Valerie Reacher. I think around here my claim to fame is, are you the pickleball woman? So I came to see y'all back in January of 2022, and my request was this, may I be allowed to paint the lines on the courts? I said, I'll pay for the paint, I'll buy the tape, and I got the roller, and it was approved, and we paved the lines in May of that year. Now I'm happy to come back. I'm really excited. I've been looking for a grant that might match us, which we would be that would be good for the community and that would help us with pickleball courts. As you know, anybody that goes over there and plays right now, the courts are in a little bit of disarray. They've got some cracks and grass is growing out, and the ball, when it bounces, it might hit the grass, and it makes it a little bit more challenging. You think you're going here, but then it's over there. But so this grant is for $50,000. It's from the United States of America Pickleball Association, and they're going to be providing 2 grants this year. One's going to children in schools, and one's going to more of a community, underserved community. So Although Lake Waccamaw itself may not be a tier 1 like the county is, we live in a county that is a tier 1, and so that might give us the ability to apply for this underserved portion of it. I started working the grant, and I spoke to Damon about it just to get it kind of like an underlying thought. Is anybody interested in doing this? I'll do the work of writing it and then present it to Damon and just, show it to you all before submission. It is due June the 3rd. So it's kind of a short timeline, but I've already, like I said, I went through it last night. I've got it all filled out with that much I know. And then I'm going to come see Damon later this week so he can fill in some facts that I'm not aware of. And then we brainstorm a little bit more to see how we maximize the sheet that says you get a scoring of 1 to 7. And we want to get those 7s in there so they'll pick us because it is a national grant. So what I'm coming for today is to ask support. First of all, do you all think it's a good idea?
I think great idea.
Good, thank you. And then second of all, the grant would be coming from Lake Waccamaw Town Hall, the entity that you are. It would be coming from me, of course, because that's not the community thing. So that's the other thing I'm looking for, is that would be okay that I use the name, Lake Waccamaw Town Hall at the top of the town board, I guess is the proper terminology for that. Yeah, so that would be the other support that I'm looking for there.
Yes,
We need a vote on it?
I think we need a, motion.
Vote on it. Motion.
I'll make the motion to, where's she at? Tell me how to word it right.
So I'd like support to.
You move to support the submission of the grant
Yes,
application.
that's all.
Motion on the floor. Second. Motion second, all in favor?
Super, and so, we'll submit it and then we'll see from there. I've already got some quotes, 3 quotes in the last couple of days. The least expensive was 57. This is for 4 courts. I was hoping to go with 6, but it seems like it's a little bit more expensive. So 4 is a good way to go. We resurface them, we get the 4, 57, 65, and 62 and 75. Those are the quotes. When it comes back, when we get the grant, on the positive side, if I could just do a little flag commercial there for a second, we'll figure out how to raise that money. Or we'll come back and have a conversation for your 2026, budget if that's something that is necessary. But I'm gonna work real hard on that. Damon's got a lot of good input, and then with you all thinking about it too, that would be greatly appreciated.
What did you say the quote came back from the young man?
Well, the young man gave me 3 quotes. His is probably the best because they would be putting a mesh. His lowest, he gave me 3 tiers, ranging from 75, 82, and 95. 95,000 was the 6 courts. But he just did Cape Fear Country Club, and they had cracks. And what he used was this mesh, almost like a skin graft type of thing, where he would mesh over the cracks, blow the cracks out, fill them in, put a mesh on it, and then coat the whole thing. And that really looks like, to me, the most reasonable good product, based like we were talking the other day. We want to get something that's going to last, right? We don't want to do something that's just going to,
One other question, so you're looking at converting it from a tennis court to a pickleball court?
Right, that's, let me be clear about that too. My request would be that we take the 2 courts there and convert them into 4 pickleball courts. That's part of the ask there too, so I think you guys need to re-vote on that.
So would you still be able to make people play tennis?
You would not.
Or not?
Right now, currently, the tennis courts do not have lines on them because they were filled and patched and nobody from the town came back to paint the lines. So anybody playing there right now isn't playing competitively because you can't bounce the line anywhere. The only lines that are on there are the pickleball courts, and occasionally somebody will send me a note saying, when are you going to paint the tennis lines? And then I'll refer them back to.
Okay.
Thank you for clarifying that, Carl.
What do y'all think about that?
Still support it. Like I said, she just wants a support letter from us.
I think at this point, that's all you need.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you very much.
Good. Thank you, Ms. Mallory. Thank you for the initiative. All right. Ms. Meredith, finance reports. Any more discussion on pickleball? We're good there? Okay, we're good. All right. Ms. Meredith?
So as far as tax collections goes, we have received 97% of the property taxes that we are anticipating receiving, and 100% of the vehicle taxes we are anticipating. Moving right along. There is nothing abnormal in the expenditure report. any questions? Or concerns?
EMS billing has been a topic, has it increased this period?
Yes, sir, it has improved. The exact figure of how much it has improved, I do not have with me
That's okay.
tonight. But it has gone up. I mean, as you see, in the month of April, we received 20,000.
Yeah.
And so it is going up. Ron and Jeremy have been having, Jeremy is one of Ron's people. They have been having monthly meetings with the EMS billing company, and they've been working actively to resolve this issue. And I have just been given access as well to go in and look at those receivables and how much is been billed every month.
We had talked about it before, so I wanted everybody to know it was getting better.
Yes, sir, it is getting better. You have no more questions, and I'll turn it back over to Mr. Kinsey.
Manager's report, Evan.
Good evening, everybody. Go over a couple things first. I'll beat you guys to the punch on Gator Fest. I just want to congratulate all of our staff and the volunteers that were involved in making it another year of success. It was all hands on deck. Everybody was out working on making sure that everything ran smoothly. I think that everything went very well. We didn't have any issues. While the turnout seemed a little low, I think that was attributed to a lot of different things that were going on that same day. But I don't think anybody was disappointed that actually was there. So good time had by all, and I just want to give my thanks to everyone that was involved in making sure that happened. Currently, we've got multiple projects that are in play that I've been briefing you all on over the months. We're pretty much in the same boat that we've been in with the wastewater treatment plant is wrapping up, but it's on timetable is good. They're past due, but they've made the adjustments. Basically, it's a matter of supply chain that's holding that up, but it should be done anytime now. You've got, we went to Raleigh, the mayor and myself went to Raleigh. We were meeting with the state park personnel. While we were there, we're trying to get authorization for the power supply to be modified for well site 4. They were willing to do that now. I'm just waiting for Duke to give me the document they need a signature on. And Brian Strong with Parks, with the North Carolina State Parks, said that he was more than willing to sign that. Once we get that, then well site 4 will be almost operational. So well site 3, they're still messing with the chemistry. I don't have anything current to report on that. I don't have anything to.
The water, the sweetness in the water, what was?
They came up with what they believe will be a solution to the problem, and the only concern that I kind of had with it was they basically did some tests to come up with what they felt they needed to add to it that would change that, because it's a pH issue. And they were successful in how they achieved their goal, except for what they used to achieve their goal would not be what we would actually be using as the additive. I don't understand why it was done that way, but to me, it's one of those where why would you not test what you're going to be utilizing? So I think they did it as almost a practice run to see if it would have the result, and now they're doing the actual run with the additive to see if it works. I think probably for cost or time, but I can't speak on that as far as actually why. But that's where we're at right now. They did the initial test, came back with positive results, and now they're doing the secondary with the actual additive and going to see if it still tracks, and then from there, that will probably be the same process for well site 4. And then both well sites will be coming online.
Give you the timeline for street?
Not right now, I don't have one. I unfortunately, and I know you all, I sound like a broken record because I've said this to you all multiple times, and you've also pointed out to me, I've said it to you multiple times. I've told them I need them to get it done, and I need it yesterday. We're far beyond past due. And But, you know, I do want to say this though, until it's right, there's no reason to even consider tying it into the system. So that's the paramount issue, is making sure that it is safe, operational, and consistent with our other flows before we tie it in. So that's the goal, and I will be continuing to follow up with them on that and pressuring them to get there. The lift station mitigation project is ongoing, where we were having upgrades done to the lift stations, and we just got funding this week for the meter replacements for the entire town. That's the high note on this one. Bad news was I don't have an update on the well site 3. The good news is we did get the funding approval for replacing all the meters in town.
Awesome. Thank you for your job. We'll leave your Greg.
Especially my house.
And that's
about it?
yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Commissioners, got anything?
I do not, other than, like I said, Gator Fest, I thought it was great. I really did, everything about it. It was, every year you get better than this year was. Congratulations to everybody.
Yes, all hard work.
What's the update with that dumpster?
The dumpster was supposed to have been picked up last week. I have no idea what the delays were, but Sarah called me again today.
Somebody might have lost track.
I believe that
Yes, they are.
look, I don't want to speak on their behalf, but what I believe the situation is it's not permanent and it fell through the cracks, as far as it was put out there for the festival, and it's not on the normal, the routine pickup schedule, and somehow it's fallen through the cracks, so we've had to call them a couple of times, and it should be rectified this week.
Might be a little muddy now.
Well, it's definitely gonna be wet getting in there, but, you know, my issue with them is that it should have been picked up before it got that way.
I know that, but I'm just saying that they try to go in and get it now.
Do appreciate them putting it out there, but now it was dry last week when we called it the first time.
That's all I have.
So I don't have anything.
What you got for me, Ron?
Good news. So our new tower truck is here. It's in process of getting started.
I left you that one.
I know.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
I want to you earned that.
Everyone here's they're here all the time, so if y'all get a chance, stop by, check it out, look at it. It still says Glen Old Fire Department on the side of it, but not for. So, great truck. I think it'll fit our needs for years to come.
I just want to point out, and I didn't want to steal his thunder because he's earned it. The guys literally loaded up, left at midnight one night, drove all the way up there through the night, picked it up in the morning, and then drove it back without missing a beat. He got back the next night at 10 p.m. So they pulled up. It was a 4-man team that pulled an iron van with one vehicle on the way up and 2 vehicles on the way back down. But if you get the opportunity, I highly recommend you go over there and take a look at it. It is a very good looking vehicle, and I think it's going to be a great addition to our department. And I appreciate you guys doing that and the efforts that you made to get it.
Appreciate it. Greg, you got anything, bud?
Everything's good.
Everything's good. How about you? Do I? How about you, Jeff? You got anything for us?
Sort of like Ron, I was just gonna piggyback and say we got the new Durango on the road for the last couple of weeks. It's got all the bells and whistles. It's a full-blown police car, the console, cage, it works. We very much appreciate it. It's very much needed.
Jeff, how many years have you been with the town?
19 and a half. 20 will be November if y'all keep me around that long.
How many times have you got the new vehicle for yourself?
Absolutely zero.
So this is the first time Jeff got a new ride, and
Exactly what he wanted.
it's his baby. Man. It is Jeff's baby. So
And we've been waiting on it to come in for how long?
it's been over.
Since July.
Since July of last year,
It's
so
about a year,
congrats on your new ride.
Thank you, sir.
and it is nice. It's actually our only vehicle that has a half cage in the back.
Yes, sir. It's on the passenger side and we've already had to put it to use. Fortunately and unfortunately, we got to test it out.
It works great.
Works great.
Works great.
But is it outside? Is it outside right now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. When you all leave, take a look at it. It hasn't been.
Letters.
Yeah, that's about to happen. But if you look at it outside, it's a silver Durango.
Back in front of the library.
It is nice. Very nice.
Good deal. I reached out to Jeff this morning, got a phone call on my way to work. do I call for an alligator in my swimming pool? It's been a while, but they call it. They're cop on duty. Jeff, help me handle that one.
I've seen a lot of pictures of people having alligators that are camped out next to their vehicles around town lately. So,
All right, nobody's got anything further, we do have to go into closed session. You got something else?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Wanted to suggest the possibility of, the parking lot at the park. You guys put up, those yellow stripes to create parking, get people to park better. Flip side of that is that it also, would stop the ability for anybody to tear the thing up again like they did in previous times. So I was wondering if, maybe we would consider, and this is not to be decided tonight, but just to bring it up, possibly consider making some kind of permanent cable through there, so that it divides that and would eliminate anybody being able to do that, and it also helps people, keeps people from parking all kinds of crazy ways, which is why they put it up there to start with. So I'm sure it's costly, but I don't know, maybe we can.
no, we can absolutely look into that. I wouldn't want to put just the cable up because we didn't know carving cars. Just like you notice every week we have to go and tie the tape back up.
Yeah.
We could paint it glow in the dark yellow and somebody's still going to run into it, but we will come up with options that would be a good option, a viable option. And I don't really think it'll be that too expensive, but we can look into that absolutely.
Just a thought, because if it eliminates anybody from tearing that thing up again like they did last time, and we still would be.
I considered the cable approach, and then I thought about the way that people pull in there, they've driven through the tape, and I thought if they do that with a cable, it'll be a very expensive mistake. So we'll try to make it something that's they can see long before they get there.
The other thing, and my wife actually reached out for this, the ability to be able, we talked to Ken Clark about the ability to be able to put Gator Fest signs up, and he indicated that the place that they would be able to do that would be on town city limit signs, but it's required for the town to actually request that to request the information on being able to do that, and then they would would determine how much it would cost or whatever. So I'm not asking for anything to be done, but I would like for I'm not exactly sure, but Ken can tell you what you have to do to submit, to ask for the ability to have that added to the thing.
Home of the Gator Fest. Greg, we still shooting for somewhere between June and July on finishing everything up out here? Is that what they're saying?
I really ain't called for the past couple of weeks. We're wrapping a lot of stuff up now.
Since we're talking about that, I'd like to address something real quick. We had some people and we had some feedback from the public that were upset because of a DOT project where there was a closure down on the road. I believe it was last week. Just to clear the air, our public works department was notified that it was going to be a 3-hour procedure. It turned into
a 3-hour procedure to get that.
Yeah, so 3 hours. So basically, we wouldn't have notified the public for a 3-hour because that is considered a temporary fix.
The fire and rescue were notified.
Emergency services were notified because they would change their route in case of having to deal with an emergency in the area. But it was supposed to be a 3-hour fix.
It turned into
2 days.
2 days. So that's the reason why.
But now, if we are notified and there's something where we know that there's going to be a road closure that's significant, we try to get everybody as much information as possible, as soon as possible. But quite frankly, for a 3-hour fix, even if they had, we wouldn't have put that out because it's 3 hours.
That was the reason for all the Facebook drama. All right, nothing further. We need to go into closed session pursuant to North Carolina Government Statute 143-318 to consult with our attorney.
Motion.
I need a motion.
Make a motion that we go into closed session.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Any opposed? Thank everyone for being here. Ms. Valerie, thank you again.
Thank you.
Brett?